Howdy guys, Jimmy Song here. I wanted to talk a little bit about what rent seeking is. This is an important economic concept and something that I think is very relevant to Bitcoin. So what is rent seeking? Rent seeking, well, you know what rent is. It's the ability to rent out something for some amount of money. A lot of what rent seeking is looking for opportunities where you don't have to do anything, but you still get paid. You're not actually adding any value, but you are still getting paid. So the typical, example of this is something like a government bureaucrat, right? Like they're not really adding anything. Like they just check a box, and they take bribes, for example, that to continue checking that box for somebody. That would be rent-seeking behavior. Or, they get some political favor and they get to do something that doesn't, or they get a position in some administration that doesn't actually do anything or produce anything useful, but, they still get paid. That is rent-seeking behavior. It's you're not adding anything and you are purely getting paid based on the position you have and not any goods or services that you are providing. And that's a very important distinction, because the people that are providing goods and services, well, they're actually adding to civilization. The people that are rent seeking, they are actually distracting from everybody else, right? Like they are essentially taxing everyone else for something that they are forced to do. They're sort of squeezing people out of their money, despite not actually adding anything. And almost every government job falls under this category. And I would argue a lot of corporate jobs also fall into this category as an extension of government. So a lot of corporations, for example, have large compliance departments. HR would be compliance with employment and things like that. But in every industry, if you're regulated in any way, shape, or form, you need lawyers, you need people that are making sure that you are complying with whatever it is that people are asking about. So there's multiple layers to this, right? There's lots of people that do these sort of things, and they don't actually add anything to society. In fact, I would argue almost every lawyer, in a sense, is a rent seeker. Almost every banker is a rent seeker in some capacity, because they're not really adding anything. They're not adding goods or services to society. The services that they do render tend to be in compliance with laws that are largely unnecessary, or they don't actually add anything to the people that are actually doing a lot of these things. And this can be a giant headache if you're creating a business or something like that. So the rent-seeking behavior is very detrimental, but that's what it is. It's somebody that doesn't add anything to anyone, but somehow still extracts taxes or money or positions or favors or something from other people, and that's what they live off of. In a sense, the rent-seeking jobs tend to be really soul-sucking, because you're not adding anything to anybody's life, and you are just sort of like living off of people. Whereas if you're making goods and services that people want, then you are actually contributing value and you're getting a fair wage for what services you are providing. So this is an important distinction. Now, why am I doing this video when I do a bunch of stuff on Bitcoin? Well, turns out that if you have sound money, it discourages rent-seeking behavior, because there isn't as much rent-seeking available. Whereas, providing goods and services, that's the way to make money in a hard money society. The phrase that I've always said is, hard money causes an abundance mentality, abundant money causes a scarcity mentality. Think about that a little bit. Hopefully this helps you. This song is done.